body, going into what religion they are a part of. Abortion. As of 2008, I found on the abortion website only 1.2 million abortions happened in 2008, and 14% of all abortions were paid with public funds through like the state and taxes and stuff. And only 1% of the people that had abortions performed to them were survivors of rape. And three main excuses people give as why they're having an abortion is that they're having a baby would interfere with work, school, or other associations, things they associate with, or they cannot afford a child, as in like they're a single income family and babysitting has to get a crib and clothes, and baby food costs quite a bit of money. Or they don't also want to be a single parent, as of the father has like got out and left, or one of the parents is so addicted to a drug or is not, so they're not really functioning. So I was going to do a 3-minute debate on whether you guys are with or against abortion. So would somebody like to get the ball rolling? No.
I think abortion should be allowed to happen, because if the child if they didn't get an abortion, then the child most likely wouldn't be raised as very well. Besides, if you're worrying about human lives going down the drain, every month eggs go down the toilets. So it doesn't really make any sense if you don't cry about that, but you cry about, oh no, the poor little baby, when it's only a single cell.
Okay, well, I think that under certain circumstances, like maybe if you're raped or something, then yeah, abortion should be allowed. But if you're not going to use protection and everything and you don't want a baby, then it's your fault because you didn't take the measures to make sure that you did not get pregnant, and you're now just wasting a life because you have this potential for life now, and you're just throwing it away.
Okay, I think that it shouldn't be allowed because, and you are very brave to bring this up in class, but what if the child that you abort would have been so smart that he could have, or he or she, could have found the cure for cancer, and you just aborted it, and now it's dead, and we will never have the cure for cancer because of that.
Well, sometimes it's as a real big. Actually, not Bill Gates. Oh, who was the guy that just died recently?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, yes. He was actually adopted at birth. So if he had been, if his mother decided, oh, let's abort this child, where would the world be today? Okay, Carrie?
First of all, I would like to say that contraceptives usually don't have about an 85% chance of effectiveness. So everyone can do have the really proper measures, but a person can still get pregnant. And if for some reason abortion was outlawed, then people would still try to get them, but like in back alleyways and stuff, like really unsafe measures from like people who have no idea what they're doing. And so with it being legal, then at least there's less of a chance of the mothers dying.
Matt?
Against what Maggie said, what happens every month is natural. Abortions are natural, so I believe that they shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed.
Anybody else? Okay, alright. So, stem cells right now, they're also going into controversy because stem cells are blank cells that can be, if you have pancreatic cancer and you have a stem cell, that you can turn that stem cell into a petri dish into a pancreas, and so do a pancreas. And it's not like your body will reject it, because some kidneys, if you take somebody's kidney voluntarily, your body might reject it. So this is a 100% guarantee that your body will not reject it. But also people, we talked about this in Mr. Gandy's class, how he could have a young Mr. Gandy and, it's like, oh, well, I need a pancreas right now. Just kill him, take his pancreas. So stem cells are found in fetuses and embryos of most animals. They are blank cells that, as I said, that ability to turn into these specialized cells such as blood, skin, liver, brain, pancreas. Scientists, they must destroy the embryo from which it came. So, in vitro fertilization, it may solve this issue. And vitro fertilization is fertilization of the egg by artificial means, also known as a test tube baby. And embryo is the fertilized egg during the first 2 months of pregnancy. So would anybody like to get this 3-minute debate rolling? Maggie.
I am personally against just harvesting like a life purposely just to take away stem cells from it. See, because I'm pro-choice personally, but I would be for taking discarded like abortions from an abortion clinic and using those for stem cells, but to purposefully create a life like a test tube baby just to take the stem cells from it, I'm personally against.
Yes.
I do think Maggie has a good idea with the whole thing with take the stem cells from embryos that were already aborted. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I do think that if you're saving a life, then you should be able to sacrifice a life that hasn't even started yet, because it's not actually alive yet, and then the person you're saving is very much alive. So life for life. Yes.
I'd like to add on to what Maggie's saying. So while I'm not saying for or against it, I assume you could harvest, or that's not lawful word to use for this, I think, but you could use or take more than one stem cell from an embryo, correct? So in theory, you could save more than one life with one embryo. You wouldn't just take one cell, you take multiple.
Alright, is there any other? Yes, Aaron.
So I say that no, if you're gonna give these test tube babies like real lives where they go off and they live their life and they have families, then you shouldn't be allowed to just take that life away from them. But if you keep them somewhere where they don't really know what life is and they know what their purpose in life growing up is, then maybe that might be a little bit more acceptable. But if you actually give them a life and then just take it away from them, I mean, that's cruel.
Is anybody? Alright, next question. Bryson.
Okay, so my question was, why is the history and positions of the major religions on science, specifically what does the Catholic Church have to say about it, and what has in its relationship over centuries? And, well, this, I have these, like, facts about what North American Catholic people believe in, and 95% of Americans believe in a higher power or a God, and 70 to 80% pray for their own health and others' health, and 72% of Americans believe that God can cure others outside of medical science. So, like, most of them believe that God can heal them if you don't have, like, if you don't take medication. And 60% of Americans and 20% of medical professionals think a person in persistent vegetative state can be saved by a miracle. So, less scientists believe that miracles can happen, but more average people believe that. And Catholic faith overall strongly believes in a God that heals, and that if you pray enough, that the God will heal your loved ones. And on the TED Talks, I listened to Billy Graham's talk on technology and faith, and it really gave me a new perspective, and it gave me more information about how technology has changed history and the world so much. And so when people normally think of technology, they think of computers and cellular devices like your tablets and phones and everything. But there's also new technology in the talk, he talked about King David, and how he brought iron to the city of Israel. And iron changed civilization because instead of just tools and weapons made out of sticks and stones and whatever else they had, now they have iron. So it just made their civilization stronger, and the technology really changed it. And he talks about how most people live as if they're never going to die, and that technology controls the myth of our mortality, which basically just means that people think with today's technology and all the advancements in medical science, they just think that you can live, most people think that they can live forever, and they don't know that they're going to die because they're young and they think they have a whole life to live. But in reality, you can die any day, or you don't know how long you're going to live. And he also talks about the TV star and old stars such as Marilyn Monroe, and younger people see her on TV and they think that she's still alive because she looks alive on TV and everything, but she's really not. So, and people just don't understand that death is inevitable. And he also says that everybody on earth has at least one thing in common, which is that they're all going to die. But again, most people don't really think about how they're going to die because they're young, but it's just true. And technology changes some people's perception of the subject because technology and the advancements in it have caused people to live longer and longer because of medicine and treatments. And his speech about how technology and how it relates to faith really gave me a new perspective on the topic and helped me understand how technology has changed the lives of humanity.